We may not be Allison Scott and Cooper Rector, but welcome to Weekend Update. Last Saturday night, Chapel Hill High School's advanced theater class put on its very first Saturday Night Live. Boasting the catchphrase, "Live from Chapel Hill, it's Saturday night."
I put together and directed the show alongside student Eliza Scott with a Google form that tasked advanced acting students with creating as many ideas as possible so we could create the most variety. We got some wacky ideas like hippos at the DMV and something to do with weather and a lot of pregnancy. But ultimately, we landed on 9 great ideas.
The collaborative process started in the third period class in the middle of February, but everything came together during crunch time. The only dress rehearsal was just 2 hours before the show, and every sketch was rehearsed separately before that. Each sketch had one writer that starred as part of the acting crew.
Our turnout was amazing. We had over 80 people show up, and I'll admit that in those minutes before the show, I felt a lot like SNL's creator, Lorne Michaels, how he must have felt right before he went on to put on his debut. I was running back and forth from different rooms to the band room to grab more chairs to seat all the people that were showing up, and even then, we still had some people standing.
Senior Ellen Cruickshank hosted the show, performing a monologue about the trials and tribulations of using ChatGPT to help write comedy. In her ad-lib moments as the host throughout the show, she addressed her risqueness playing the stripper Big Bird, and how she wished that she could say that her parents weren't in the audience, but she inevitably had to say hi to her dad. She said that being an actress as well as the host was the best part of the show.
Our theater director, Thomas Drago, said he was very proud of how the show turned out, and that the intense and chaotic but fun moments associated with the show reminded him of how Saturday Night Live in New York may be. I could not agree more.
Let's give a rundown of the sketches.
It started with the cold open about some personalities involved in some mishaps with an airline flight. And then we had a skit about some mafia bosses, but it turned out each and every one of them was an undercover cop. That one was a fan favorite.
For sure. 2 commercials were involved in the show, one about a quite destructive chainsaw toy for kids, and another about a pill called Productivia that counteracted senioritis and had some side effects.
There was a skit profiling the characters of Sesame Street, but as they got much older and grew into some issues, there was a parody of Breaking Bad and an interview of some terribly comedic broadcast meteorologists.
Musical guests Nicole Taxman, Hallquist, and Cy and I also performed at the show. Drago said that the show was mostly student-run, but he gave a directive for joke swapping on Weekend Update. I just hope we're not going to tell any insulting jokes here today.
Live from Chapel Hill for the Proconian, it's Wednesday afternoon.